vibing, don't mind me. What's up, losers? How's it going? We'll see who the real loser is, as you can tell if you have eyes to see that we're playing some Mortal Kombat Mythologies tonight. Shout outs to Patrikios. I believe that's a Greek name. I'm very good with Greek pronunciation. For writing that track and making it royalty free so anybody, including me, can use it. I think it's got a good beat. That's why I picked it up. Anyway, let's see what we got tonight. Hope everybody's doing good. Hey, Nicolina Games, how are you? I see Riven Mike, my one and only mod, is here. Felipe, you're back. Thanks for stopping by as always. Jaime is here. The Wizard is here. Everybody's here. 6 viewers to start off. That's a good start. Good start. Anyway, we are playing Mortal Kombat Mythologies Sub Zero today. One thing of note, I did turn the sound off of the the music rather, not the sound. And that's not because Dan Fortin didn't do a great job. This is a very like melancholy and atmospheric soundtrack. If you're into like vaporwave and like ambient music and that type of stuff, you would probably enjoy some of the tracks from this game. But unfortunately, Warner Brothers is extremely bad about claiming all their music, just like when you play their games, right? Like not even just like uploading the music, like just the background in the game. And it makes it a really big hassle to go back through the video afterwards in YouTube Studio and mute and or cut out all the audio, and it just takes up a lot of time. So yeah, I do recommend looking up the soundtrack. It's very akin to Mortal Kombat 4. These games came out about the same time, and this game actually plays a lot into the plot of the original Mortal Kombat 4 storyline, not the revisited one in MK10. This game is unfortunately not very good. I'm not really looking forward to playing it. This is one of those games you played as a kid, and you probably struggle bug through it, and you probably got pretty far, or maybe you didn't get very far. Or maybe you were like me and you played it on easy, and then at the halfway point the game says, play on normal to play the rest of the game, you Nimrod. That's about all I can say about it. You play as Bi-Han, the older Sub Zero, and it's basically what he got up to before the very first Mortal Kombat tournament. That's also known as Noob Saibot. If you played Mortal Kombat in the last 10 years, you know that Bi-Han eventually became Noob Saibot. Yeah, that's one of the better stage musics is the prison escape stage. But I know that Warner Music Group will claim all of this video. So I muted the sound other than the audio. We'll still get to watch the hilarious live action cutscenes and stuff, and hopefully, let's just get right into it. I do believe this game has lives, so I think if we lose, we have to start over. So that's great. Thanks for that. Another round. But there's a password system, so we'll cheat if we have to. I'll probably play this and something else tonight, just so we get a little variety. I don't know how much of this I can take.
You will fail.
Very climactic beginning there. Let's see if we can't figure out our buttons here. So it's very similar to like the other Mortal Kombat games. For some reason I don't seem to have a high punch. That doesn't seem right. We may just have to let him claim it. This is too weird without the music. And there's also a button to turn around. What button do I use to turn around? Let's pause. Yeah, it's like we're missing a few buttons. Let's reset. Perfect Dark is a classic, man. You gotta love Perfect Dark. Let's throw up the standby for a second while I figure this input thing out. It's going to be pretty hard to beat this game without having all the buttons. It's going to be hard enough to beat this game as it is, especially without all the buttons. Yep, that's what it was. I had some stuff unmapped, so we'll fix that. Here we go. Okay. So you guys can see it from the beginning. We'll turn the music down really low, and we'll just try to make a lot of commentary, and maybe it won't get us in the end. Definitely should have a high... You also need a turnaround button, too. A turnaround button. That's right. As someone mentioned earlier in the chat, you literally have to press a button to walk in the opposite direction in this game. And my guess, the reason they did that is because they had trouble with the enemy targeting, if I had to guess. Because there are situations where you're going to have enemies on both sides, and that's probably why, if I had to guess. Anyway, let's figure this out. I'm going to move some windows around here for the sake of my neck the next 3 hours playing this trash. Yeah, it does set up the Scorpion Sub-Zero rivalry. What I find interesting was that the game takes place from the perspective of Sub-Zero. Ed Boon and co. have always been huge fans of Scorpion. You know, there's the old gag about how Sub-Zero is always like getting killed in the intro and on the menu and stuff. But yet this game stars Sub-Zero. You would think they would do a spinoff that starred Scorpion first, but they didn't for whatever reason. Okay, so it's L2 is, oh yeah, check it out. Welcome to Sub-Zero's dance party, baby. Anyway, let's see if we can't pilot this trash. The good thing is that it controls just like an old school Mortal Kombat game. The problem is it also controls like trash, so I have a run button, so it takes place before MK1, but it has MK3 controls. And there doesn't appear to be jump-in combos, however, so that's different than the MK3 engine. See, like I don't auto-turn, I have to turn around. The jumping is also a little bit floatier than it was in classic MK titles, which is kind of annoying. I guess it's to make up for the game being a platform. Look at this, this is the first enemy. He's just blocking everything. There's also experience points. So how do I, there we go. So L1 takes stuff. So you don't even start with like your moves, you have to unlock them. That was fair. There we go. Ambush through the door. If anybody in the chat knows this game and knows like the CPU exploits, please let me know. I do know I have to unlock special moves though, and once you get the special moves, it should get easier. Oh, you're right, you can. See, that's like blasphemous to a classic MK player. You can't neutral jump and move. And see, this guy's got a sword. It's almost like they just don't fall for the same thing twice. Maybe that's... The turnaround is so dumb. Oh, are we going to get to farm here? We really, really need to unlock the ice ball. Oh yeah, did you see that sick 2-hit combo there? Okay, I take issue with that because how in the world are you supposed to know there's an awning but you have to jump close to the wall? Like, wouldn't most people's inclination be to just jump like with wild abandon there? Either to jump with wild abandon or to just not do anything because they didn't know what to do? By typical gamer standards, it's not my fault, whatever happened. Okay, that's dumb. The hitbox on that is way too big. Yeah, this is going to be fun. I could get out of here. Just throw that guy. Somebody remind me, are there dial combos in this? When I was a kid, I was too dumb to understand dial combos, but now I might be able to get them. This game actually has enough classic MK programming left in it that with hacks you can play as like the monks and the other enemies in game. The codes are out there to do it. I've just never messed around with it. Gosh, it's so dumb you have to turn around. I'll have to go look them up. Or this is going to be a long playthrough. I was trying to do the UMK3 launcher, but not being able to do jump ins makes it more difficult. So that's like what? There's so many things like that, if I remember correctly, in this game. It's just like stuff that unless you had played it before, you wouldn't know to do. Like, I know when you fight Fujin later, yes, Fujin is in this game, he has an instant kill attack, and the way you survive it is to run to the end of the platform and just hold on. But you would never know you can do that because the game never tells you. Oh, this is terrible. Also, Sub Zero walks slightly to the left or right of center of the screen, and that makes it kind of annoying because enemies will pop out and get you. There we go. High punch, low kick, high kick, back high kick. Oh, okay. I gotta remember that one. High punch, low punch, high kick. Let's see. Well, I got slide at least. I remember as a kid, I beat the whole game without using the dial combos. Oh yeah, this is going to be good, I can tell. Here, we'll just speed run it. There we go. No, let's not waste a credit on the first level. They didn't really put a lot of effort into this game. Like, Mortal Kombat 4's game over screen had you falling down in the abyss to your death, and this is just like a black screen with some white text on it. It's like, game over, you lose. You get nothing. Also, that's fairly painful load time. Oh yeah, get better. Nice. But real mature, Ed Boon. We may end up doing that because I really don't want to. And see, when I go back to playing regular Mortal Kombat, it's going to make my life harder because I'm going to be trying to like turn around. There we go. That's very tricky for a first stage obstacle. Can't get over having to press a button to turn around. There are healing items, at least. I watched a speed run of this one time. It seemed like there was some kind of exploit with high punches, but I don't remember what it was. Turn around. I know there's one for health and there's one for mana, but the mana recharges on its own. Okay, so you get more experience for combos, so we need to be farming our combos. How'd I come up with what? Oh, my name? So my real name, well, one of my names is Trent. And so years and years ago, I was an exchange student to Japan. And I was a high school I went to Japanese high school for like 3 months, just kind of a summer exchange thing. I never was really graded on anything. It was more about like a cultural experience. But anyway, the name Trent is Trent. Now, if you know anything about the I hate this game. If you know anything about the Japanese language, all of their letters are like consonant-vowel combinations. So, for example, there's no TR sound. There's a TO sound and like TI, which is technically like chi, but like, for example, their alphabet starts with A, E, I, O, U, and then you have K, A, K, I, K, U, K, E, and so on and so forth. For most of the consonants, it does this pattern. But anyway, my name starts and ends with a T, and in particular an NT. And while the Japanese language has the N sound by itself, it does not have a T. So that word final T was very hard for my classmates to pronounce. And one day they had written something with like all the different classmates' names on it and like their assignments for some project or something we were doing. And my name was up there too in katakana. And for the T at the end of my name, they put TSU, which is a Japanese letter, tsu. And they spelled my name kind of funny, and I kind of liked it. So when I came back from Japan, that was about the time I started this YouTube thing, like 1 or 2 years later. And it's kind of like an homage to my Japanese classmates that I had lost contact with most of them at that point. I took on that name as like my YouTube persona. It's goofy. In hindsight, I almost wish I had chosen something different, but it works. Although part of me thinks that YouTube purposely limits, or at least used to limit my viewership, because Torrentsu sounds kind of like torrents, like illegally torrenting things. So I think I may catch some flack. I hate this game from YouTube for that. I wish there was like a game journalist level difficulty I could play on. That would make it easier. Yeah, lale lule lo. Yeah, that Patriots lale lule lo thing makes a lot more sense when you study the language. Turn around, Sub Zero. Good grief. He's standing on the other side of the door with a sword. I'm not sure. It probably had something to do with the motion capture actors, if I had to guess. Because it was probably whoever they had available at the time they just used. My channel is kind of a mess, honestly. That's probably why I don't have more viewership, is because it's kind of just whatever I like to play at this point. I'm going to look up some dial combos for this. I need a simple one just to grind. There we go.
You will fail.
Yeah, okay, here, I think the wiki is going to help me out. It only has the 6-hit one you told me. That's kind of hard to do. Anyway, so about my channel. Yeah, it's essentially what it is. So way back in the day, of course, YouTube came out, and then the angry video game nerd was a thing. Like, I think everybody wanted to be like James Rolfe, the angry video game nerd. And my idea was kind of like his stuff is hilarious, don't get me wrong. I love his stuff. I laugh at it a lot. And then there was another guy named Sycophant. You can go look up his YouTube channel. He hasn't posted anything in about 15 or 16 years. It shows you how long YouTube's been around. And he was kind of like a lower tech James Rolfe. His channel was very simple. It was just like footage of the game, and then he would talk over it. But he would just like make fun of like bad games like Home Alone on the NES, and he did survival arts, he did Tattoo Assassins. And if you notice, a lot of my early reviews are stuff like that. In fact, I actually reviewed survival arts years later. I reviewed Tattoo Assassins. There's been a lot of gameplay of those games on my channel, and that's why, is because I took inspiration from Sycophant. And I hate that he's no longer around, because he was a really funny guy. He had a very witty sense of humor, and his stuff was just, it was very simple, but it was entertaining to watch. And so having seen that, I thought, I don't have the resources to do the production value of something like AVGN does, but I could do this, I could do that. And so that inspired me to start. I can't even get past the first level. This is ridiculous how bad this is. And so that kind of inspired me to just do my first review, which is Rabio Lupus for the arcade. And then over the years, I've always been interested in like beta content and gaming hacks that let you play as secret characters you're not supposed to, and things like that. And over the years, those videos just kind of captured my interest more than reviews did, because like early gaming on YouTube was all about like, go to the Super NES, find some terrible game that sucks, and just like make fun of it for 10 or 15 minutes, and that was your whole review. And there's definitely a place for that, and I love that kind of content. But I just kind of found myself more and more interested in, instead of like Riven Mike once said, my channel used to be very quip based, and now it's become like more so informative. Like I just play these old obscure games and like talk about them and like explain how the mechanics work and how to play as secret characters and that kind of stuff. And that just kind of captured my interest more than just like, hey, here's fun and games for the Super Nintendo, and hey, here's Color a Dinosaur, and that kind of stuff. These enemies got combos. You see that nice anti-air high punch there? Haha, perfect. High kick, back high kick is the only other combo. They did ask Philip on if he wanted to be the ninjas, but he chose to be Shang Tsung. Yeah, probably. That's probably. I haven't heard that before, but I have no doubt that it's true. No problem believing something like that. Oh yeah, I think I come through here when we get ready to leave. That's why we can't do this yet. That's an excellent climbing animation. Just perfecto. NetherRealm, or Midway at the time, really had their strengths, and when they deviated from them, it just didn't go well for them, I'm afraid. So can you not do the combos when you're frozen? There we go. Okay. Perfect. They're definitely not UMK3 style combos. I don't want to kill Scorpion because you have to fight like Super Scorpion later on if you do. And as you can tell, things are not going good for us, so I don't know if I want to do that. Even though canonically Sub Zero did kill him here. Just gonna restore our health. I mean, he asked me to spare him, right? And I'm pretty sure the fatality command is the MK1, right? Forward, down, forward. Yeah, that's the one from MK1. Alright, thank goodness we can leave this awful level and play some that are even worse. The climbing up animation doesn't look too bad, but when he goes down, it looks kind of goofy. Because you can tell they just played the same animation and just like moved him down. Yeah, I can jive with some Yoshi's Island. I didn't have just a whole lot of Super Nintendo games growing up because they were so expensive, but that is one I did have. Oh yeah, check this out. Look at those eyes, man. Here's Richard DeVizio. He won an Oscar for this. That's the guy that played Kano in the MK1 and 3. Quan Chi's actor. He knew.
You are responsible for this sorcerer.
Well, I've also retained Scorpion services. In case you failed, I needed some assurance.
Your peace of mind almost cost me this mission.
Enough! Quan Chi, tell me.
I believe that's also Sector's dad, by the way.
I almost forgot. The bones of your arch nemesis and leader of Scorpion's ninja clan.
Our ancient foes, vanquished in one transaction.
And I've personally made certain that every last remnant of their clan has been eliminated. Forever.
You see, so
He's not going to verify that in any way.
can trust a sorcerer sometimes. Now, you will use this map on your next mission. Quan Chi has once again retained your services.
This map is
Sub Zero runs like a quarterback jogging onto the field.
this man's recorded history on Earth. For thousands
Only one from State, am I right?
has been hidden in what is now known as the Himalayan mountains of Nepal. This map is the only evidence.
Yeah, at least I will give it to him. The cabinets look kind of cool with Rich DeVizio as Quan Chi on the side. I still think the top tier was like the Mortal Kombat 3 cabinet that had Shao Kahn and Sindel on the side. That was so cool.
Until the four elements
The MK2 one with Raiden was really cool too, but I really like that MK3 one with Shao Kahn on the side.
of your realm, especially your god of thunder.
Tell me about these elements.
They are the four elements which comprise the very existence of your realm. They are earth, wind, water, and fire. With your mastery of the elements
That makes me nervous, him climbing up that mountain.
human has, and
He looks like Will Ferrell.
I have foreseen this.
So I think the first Mortal Kombat tournament canonically takes place sometime in the 90s. You mean nobody had ever found this temple just hanging out in the Himalayan mountains? Guess not. Do you want to save your game? Yes. And Windu is my password. We are on the council, but we are not granted the rank of master. Oh, that's the one with Johnny Cage, Daniel Pacino on the side doing the kick, right? And because this game is this game, I guarantee you I could jump off there and kill myself if I wanted to, and I didn't know any better. Like, if you just auto-turn, that would make this so much more playable, but you don't, and so it's not. Okay. One way to do it, I guess. I seem to recall the platforming in this section being fairly bad as well. Bye. I mean, look at these. Look at this. Doesn't this just look gorgeous? This looks like some sort of fan game or something. It doesn't even look real. Whoa. And see, it's good that you get a little give with your... I pressed up. He didn't jump. I swear I did. Go back and check my inputs. I pressed jump. Guess I got him on chip damage. I like how you get the little cutscene of him falling to his death. This is one of those games you just have to play a bunch until you learn like where the FU traps are. And then you don't really get any better at it. You just kind of memorize what to do. So apparently running and jumping isn't a thing. You just have to kind of last second do it. So much easier if he would just turn around. Oh, look at this. This is going to be terrible. They should have remastered this game after MK9. I mean, the events that are still canonical in the new timeline, so why not show the meaning of pain for a new generation? This game would best be... This whole game is so annoying. At least even though I had to continue, I get to... Like, how... I don't understand the perspective here. Is it like when it gets close enough, I can auto-jump to it? Or do I have to time it? It doesn't make any sense. This stage was made because of video game rentals. Yep, you're probably right. And that's how I played it. The thing was in the US though, or not the US, everywhere, was games in this era had cheat codes. So you could just skip it if you had like Game Pro Magazine lying around. Once you get on the first one, it's not too hard, but the other ones are very difficult. I don't know what that is. I've never seen that. Oh yeah, that's because the platform kind of sucks you into it. Like when you get the jump correct, you kind of get sucked over into it. And that's it, folks. It's alright, we can load our save game. I don't know if we'll start off with 2 lives or if they'll just give me the 1 again. I don't know. Oh, the 1. Great. So I was jumping. That guy was off screen and he jumped to meet me. It's perfect. The dumb thing is that the AI fights just like you might fight the Mortal Kombat AI in the arcade game, but it's almost like they didn't realize this was a game you were going to buy once and just play until you beat it. Like there was no reason to steal quarters from people with cheap fighting mechanics. Sometime today. There we go. And if we're in the mountains, why is there so much shrubbery and those gusts of wind? It gets me every time. Get out of here, chump. Yeah, you just never want to really do the same technique twice. Oh yeah, that's much easier. Thanks for that tip. That's much better. Gosh, this game's such a piece of garbage. Most video game rentals in the US were a bad value proposition with the exception of a few places. And there was really like no, like, I don't know, no standard or anything, so I guess it made it kind of hard. Because you got to like a lot of, for example, the local video store, we had 2 in the town I grew up in. And one was run by this older guy. And so, you know, he probably didn't know much about games or like time spent versus money paid to play and all that stuff. So like if you rented from his store, he stopped after N64. He never got anything after N64 games. And you would have to pay, I think it was $5 or $6. I think it was like $4 or $5. And you had to bring the game back the next day by 5. And then we had a movie gallery that opened up in town a couple years later, and you could pay $5 and rent the game for 5 days. So I mean, no brainer, right? Which one are you going to go to? I have played the South Park game. I have not played Pod Racer. Oh great, we're back here. I'm just going to go with it because maybe we can get to that second stage without dying. I found several floating urns on my way to work this morning. It made my day a lot easier. Yeah, they can auto hit you, but you can't hit them. Yeah, we're getting the hang of it. We're getting better. I think the fact you start without your freeze is kind of dumb. Because, I mean, that's literally Sub Zero's thing, and you're just going to take it away from him. I'm starting to figure out the combo system. You can't be like right up on them like you can in the arcade game. Otherwise, it just doesn't hit. Yeah, see, it just does that if you... I heard about that, Riven Mike. I did. I need to try that game. I've always heard good things about it. You know, a lot of Star Wars games are really good or really bad. And I always heard good things about that one. Wonder if the N64 versions... Why does it... Well, they had no idea how to design a game other than a fighting game. I swear, Midway had no clue what they were doing. It's like, okay, we're making this Mortal Kombat platformer game. What should we put in a platformer game? How about some pillars that kill you? That's something that's in platformer games, right? Yeah, let's do that. Genius. I mean, keep in mind, this is the first level. This is the very first level of the game. Like, now given I'm not good at it, but to have pillars that you take a damage hit and it knocks you into the other one and instant kills you in a game where you A, have limited lives and like one continue to start with. I did not have this much trouble with the N64 version of this game growing up. And then again, I did play on easy. I think I'm playing on normal right now. I didn't change it, whatever it is. Yeah, what do they think this is? Bubsy? Star Fox Adventures was literally Legend of Zelda. I mean, that's what it was. Who are we trying to kid here? Yeah, look at that sick anti-air there. Why do I have to press a button to turn around? You start out with no special moves. The enemies read your inputs like it's a coin-based arcade game. Look at this. Every single time. What do you want me to do, Ed Boon? I've supported your games for years, and this is how you repay me. He was not even on screen, and he jumped up there and kicked me. Why? Okay, maybe throws are the secret. Maybe that's it. And like, you have to run to get through it without it killing you, but if you run too far, the other one will smack you, and you die that way. And you have to have experience points to unlock your moves. Oh, this game is so bad. No, I will not continue. Essentially, yeah. Yeah, fall death. Like, my goodness, what is this set on? That's medium? How many difficulties are there? Easy, very easy, medium, hard, very hard. Alright, let's do it. Oh, you can... It's one of those dumb games where you can change how many continues you have. Okay, well, that's a little bit more tolerable. Like, why would you not? Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. I would really hate to see what the computer was like on very hard. If this is normal. But honestly, I'm griping about the enemies, but they're really not that bad for a Mortal Kombat game. The real MVP are the instant death traps and the platforming. They're just not good. You pretty much stop on a dime at least, which is nice. Okay, so you just can't jump kick. You can't do it. Budget Liu Kang here will just counter it every time. These pillars, man, this is so bad. At least the healing items are fairly generous. You get a lot of bang for your buck with the healing items. A button to turn around. Can I just like farm this guy so I can get... Yeah, there we go. Yeah, see, your mana recharges slowly but surely. If I remember correctly, doing combos makes it recharge faster. Yeah, we're just gonna... I really need... If I could just get like slide and the ice ball. And I know you get some of the better ones later on. Like ice shower and that kind of thing. And there's like a super like damaging ice move if I remember correctly. So if I hold forward, he always does the combo. But if you just walk up like standing and press high kick, you just get the regular high kick. Oh great, he respawned, okay. But the combo requires you to press back, so you essentially have to walk into the enemy holding forward and then immediately transition to back. This guy's just ducking high kicks on reaction. Why does it do that? I will never understand why Ed Boon thought that was a good idea. And do I hold Ed Boon personally responsible? Yes, I do. It was his fault. He was the one who made that design decision. Edward John Boone. I should have played Special Forces instead. I guarantee you it wouldn't have been this difficult. Oh my gosh. There we go. Why does it do that? Like half of this game's problems are just the BS death traps. And like it won't even go back up unless, look at this. I just chucked him. Get out of here. Just chuck the enemies out of the way. Get out of the way, pillar. There we go. Turn around! The whole playthrough has been thwarted by the pillars. Get out of here. Okay. I mean, this is it. We will never play a game worse than this on this channel. I mean, it's... I should have just made tonight's stream Doug's big game and been done with it. Get out of here. I mean, it's literally the worst. It's like you're punished for making one mistake with instant death. And it's just like insult to injury that the one mistake, the first mistake just causes damage, and then the second one is instant death. That was bizarre. This is probably a stupid statement, but the classic MK games have no low and high attacks. You can block sweeps while standing. I wonder why. Yeah, they were very strange about that. It's more like... It's not something like Tekken, which basically designates all its attacks as like high, medium, and low. Original Mortal Kombat just basically... Wherever the motion capture actor happened to put his foot during the technique, that was usually a good estimation of where the hitbox would be. And so while every character had like unique properties for the same type of moves, like for example, female ninjas' uppercuts are notoriously glitchy, whereas a character like Stryker has the best uppercut in the game. And it all just has to do with where the hitbox was when the motion capture actor did their thing. So sometimes you could have an attack that could be ducked and blocked, and then some of them you couldn't. But yeah, this being able to standing block a sweep is a Mortal Kombat quirk.
The map is mine, Sub Zero. Fight!
Look at this nice anti-air into slide, which went right through him. The turnaround button is really the bane of your existence because you're trying to block and be ready to block, but the enemy can just cross you up at any time too. So blocking a hit will make you face the other direction, but an enemy on the other direction will not make you face that direction.
Spare me.
All right, we're doing good. We're doing good. Thank goodness we don't have to go through those 2-column death traps again. This is one of those times where I played a game as a kid and I got fairly far, and I don't remember it being that hard, and I go back and play it and it's like kicking my tail, so I don't know if I was just like really good and I just got old and bad, or if I tried a lot harder as a kid than I remembered to get as far as I did. Of course, I also had the N64 version, so it might have been a little different. Yes, let's save our game. Wind 01. How original. Collect the 3 icons representing the elements of wind. Oh yeah, the icons that represent the elements of wind. I see those every day on my way to work. Of course I know what those look like. Yep. Maybe my Sub Zero just has really poor depth perception. And like this area, you would probably just blindly jump if you didn't know there was... There we go. I guess the wind auto goes right there. I don't know. Just nothing graphically impressive about this at all. Bye. They knew why they put this checkpoint here, because this area is bad. They knew it. They freaking knew it. And then they put that dumb cutscene in there to waste your time, which would be fine if this was a cartridge-based game without load times. But it's a PlayStation game which has load times. Yeah, maybe they called Square Enix for some inspiration in this game. Let's see how many continues and lives we can melt right here. Like, are you supposed to time it before it comes around? Like, right as it comes around? I don't get it. Try jumping to the next platform when you're about 45 degrees in the first one. Okay. That will require me to get back onto the first one successfully. Gosh, this level. Okay, yeah, you're right. About right there. Except that time it didn't work, but we got it the first time. Like, who thought this was okay? Like... Gosh, that is terrible. Okay. Thanks for the tip. Let's see. Moving on. Great. Get used to seeing that screen a lot. The person that approved a cutscene death, yeah. Oh, I hate this game so much. Why did I play this as a kid? Probably because I didn't know any better. Somebody got paid money for this. You realize that, right? Like actual, like hard-earned money. That is a really apt description of it, yeah. Because this isn't even really like platforming. It's just like timing. But not in a good way. One thing I've noticed is you don't want to hold forward too long. And if you do that, it kind of sucks you onto the peanut butter cup looking platform. But if you hold forward, he like goes toward it, but then immediately falls off of it. There we go. Turn around. Okay. Yeah, get some. We did it, boys. If I take one more step, it'll be the furthest I've ever been from the first level. Oh my gosh. These instant jump kick responses are part of what makes this so bad. Yeah, I thought there was something over here. Great. We did it. We got one of the symbols that represents wind. A golden circle. Don't you know that like Ed Boon and the gang were just like sitting around during the design of this game, and they're like, we need to make a platformer. What's in platformers? Platforms, death traps, and how about we have this section where you collect items to progress in the level, like keys or something. Oh yeah, that's really good, man. I never thought about something like that before in a game. Why does the slide go over cliffs? Bye. And killing enemies isn't even really what gives you experience. It's just combos. It's kind of interesting that this is a Mortal Kombat game and things actually end up better for you if you don't use fatalities on any of the enemies that you're offered the option to finish. Like if you don't use a finisher on Scorpion, you get a unique cutscene with Shinnok later on, and you don't have to fight like Super Scorpion. And then if you don't kill Serena later on, she shows up to help you in the last boss. So they were really trying to subvert expectations. You listening, Naughty Dog? That's how you subvert expectations. You be Mortal Kombat and you don't make people kill people. Can I use the key here? Yeah, there we go. What was I supposed to do? Did you want me to freeze the tornado? Oh yeah, don't forget the turn button, Ed. You know, it couldn't just be... Okay, you had to hold up. It's coming a pretty nasty storm out there, guys, so if we lose internet, I do apologize. I don't know, if I had to guess, the reason for that, the poor jump mechanics... That killed me? Was because they couldn't figure out how to do targeting, if I had to guess, like how to target multiple enemies. It's probably something to do with that. Why does this game have fall damage? It doesn't need it. What am I supposed to do? Like, who? No, dummy. Like, obviously I need to get across there, but there we go. Okay. Like, that feels like a speedrunning trick more than just what you're supposed to do. What was the point of that? That doesn't do anything for me. Yeah, imagine in Super Mario Brothers if you had to press a button to turn around. Look at this garbage. I'll give it a shot. Okay, you're right. You hold down in the tornado to go down, and you press up to go up. Which makes sense, but the game never explains it to you. So poo on them. Yeah, you see, I tricked him. We're going to watch that cutscene every single time. I don't remember the other stages being this annoying. Like, I remember the, I I know there's like a earth level and like a fire level and a wind level. So there's earth, wind, and fire. No, that doesn't work. We need a different key. That one's not too bad. You just kind of wait till it starts to move forward and then you jump on it. Yeah, that's a good point. Why not just screw your players over? Like maybe a brief tutorial about how the gameplay works, how combos work. They just kind of throw you in. And like when you unlock new moves, unless you knew or you check the menu, you would have no clue. You just get this little circle that pops up at the top of the screen for a split second. It's like, what is that? Like, I don't know what that is. I don't know what that means. Get out of there. Send him back where he belongs. Oh gosh. Bye. And see again, like death trap, no indication it's about to kill you, no indication how to survive it. No. There we go. All right, we're getting a little better here. We're working it out. Okay, that's the wind's blowing, so that means we've already done this part. We're good. If you let go of down, that sends you shooting back up towards the top, by the way. I do know this stage in particular has a lot of sequence breaks in it. Like if you speedrun it, there are things you can do to make it not so dumb. So like the camera will actually zoom forward for the solid platforms to let you grab on. But the ones that are moving, it won't. It just lets you die. Oh, of course there's some of those rocking platforms on top of that insanely fast jumping, falling platform section. Of course there is. Why would there not be? Yeah, thank you for not sucking at the task. What's really dumb is you have to go into the options menu to load. If we wouldn't have wasted so much time with the peanut butter cup windmills, we would be in pretty good shape here. Yeah, just chuck that guy. I love just chucking guys. Really, the level is not that long once you get past the death traps. Sub Zero has kind of a floaty fall in this. Yeah, did you see that sick strategy there? Okay, I gotta remember. The first one, you just kind of up and fall onto it, and then get about right here. There we go. Oh, I screwed that one up. That was too early. Now this is true. That's probably what we'll end up doing, because this just isn't worth it to go back and have to do this. Yeah, the trick, I think, for that part is just to press like up and forward and then just let it go. And like if you're in the vicinity, it kind of pulls you towards it. But if not, you just die. But I mean, that's going to happen anyway, so. I think this game should have, instead of a button to turn around, because if you notice, the platforming sections in the combat are usually at least somewhat divided. They should have implemented some sort of lock-on system. And so when you got into combat, you locked on to an enemy. But when you went out of combat, it was just like free movement, kind of like Mario. That would make the game much more palatable, I think. They also should have used the Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 combo engine. That would have been a lot more fun. Yeah, see, we did all that pretty quickly there. And see, now we know about the tornado. We know that we just hop in the tornado and glide across it by holding down. So we're getting there. Just get rid of this guy. Thanks a lot, Sub Zero. Jump, you idiot. You blue fool! I'm Dr. Robotnik. You blue fool. The jump button kind of just throws caution to the wind when you're in run mode. You may jump, you may not. You're really just playing with your life at that point. I mean, the potential was there. Like, sometimes Sub-Zero auto-turns when he's being attacked. There's just really no consistency. So, without playing the game like a long time, you're not going to be able to figure out what's going to count as an auto-turn situation and what's not. Okay, so come here, use key. Even though there's no indication. Look, he just didn't do anything. Like, you're supposed to jump into it, but sometimes, like, the collision doesn't activate and he just completely dies. And the perspective is all screwy in this game, so you don't know where you're jumping or what you're doing. All right. I'd rather not, honestly, but it's sad. It takes like 10 lives to get this far into the game. One kick. That guy just went sliding off that platform. There we go. Yeah, you see that one, you don't have to time it. You can just Leroy Jenkins it, and it's fine. Wait, we were supposed to go up, weren't we? Oh. Well, we'll get some more practice with this. And by that I mean fall off and die and just start over. Yeah, but we still had to come over there because we have to get the thing. Okay. Then we come up here to the Petticoat Junction. Use this key. Come in here. Let's see. We want this guy. Yeah, to step on the thing. Oh, whatever! You gotta be kidding me. Today on games that aren't fun. Hey Ed, we really need a puzzle for that section on the wind stage to get the key. What should we do? How about a section where there's a pressure plate and if you step on it the door opens and if you don't step on it the door closes? Ed, you've done it again. Surely such has never been seen before in a platforming game. This would be like if Sierra made a point-and-click platformer game in the 90s. Murder, I wrote. Yeah, they did. It's just like every bad decision they could have made, they pretty much did with this. Instead of making a beat 'em up, even would like just a straight beat 'em up probably would have been a better choice. You could have done something like God Hand with this, and it would have been fun. But no, they needed platforming. Do you guys realize the exact same sequence of events played out there? This game punishes you for hitting enemies. I believe a high kick should send him flying though, so we'll see. Yeah, just high kick him. Yeah, I think I figured out the secret. The secret is to the jumping is to just press the jump button one time. You don't press it anymore. If you press it more than once, you die. Because he's going to keep going. But if you just tap forward, he'll get on the platform. So I think that's the trick. So yeah, let me try it. So wait, one time. Yeah, there we go. It's just one time. One time. Okay. One time. One time. Yeah, I think that's the trick. Okay. One time. Oh, okay. Perfect. All right. Not worried about these guys. Got better things to do. I bet it's the same with these too. One time. To my death. Great. So the peanut butter cups are a little bit different. Of course they would put one of these right before the boss too. One time. Yep. Okay, so the first one you... One time. Yep. There we go. One time. Yep. And jump. There we go. Okay, so the first one is just you jump and push right, and the second one is a one-time jump. One time, yep. Perfect. We figured it out. Maybe not make a bunch of enemies with super knockbacks on platforms in the second daggum level of the game. I assume this is the boss. All I can do is put platforms on MK. Well, that was fun. That was like playing a match of Tekken 7. You don't even get to play the game. It just does it for you. Whenever I want to laugh, I go back and watch that that speed run of that game a few years back at like SGDQ or GDQ. Like, why? Why would you... It's the second boss in the game. Why would you give him the ability to just lift you up and kill you at the start of the fight? Like, he recovers too fast. Like, if I had an ice shower, I could do it, but I don't have ice shower. He did it behind me. I went to go forward, and it's like, oh, it hit you, sorry. Boy, I wish this game were fun. Okay. The annoying thing about that attack is it turns you the wrong direction. Just everything in this game just joins together to make it a litany of unfun. Of course, Fujin can fly, so that was a bit of a stretch on my part, but I was holding block. He just Tengu Man you, yeah, whatever that is. Batman Forever. Is that the one where all the enemies have like the unique names? Oh yeah, you don't get your healing items back in between attempts either. Nope. We may have to go back and farm like the ice shower to beat this guy. Because if we had the ice shower, we could just like wait till he does his wind tunnel and then like freeze him in the air. And that may be what it's expecting me to do. This is going to instant kill me. The having to press a button to turn around thing is really going to be a pain in these boss fights. And he's got like if you block his attacks, it should have punishment frames like in the other MK games, like when you block certain attacks, enemies roll up in a ball. That would make this feel kind of like a Mortal Kombat match, and that would be fun. But instead, it's just like this mess, I guess. Like there's no indication that he's about to do that, so he just insta-summons wind and kills you. I mean, it can be fair. I don't necessarily feel it is in this case, just because the game lends itself. There we go. So apparently you just run up and punch him. He plays a lot like the UMK AI. Just run away from you till you get close and then like insta throw you or something. That should be blockable. I will never agree with that not being blockable. I thought that Midway made that Batman Forever game, and that's why it was just like MK. It was like the same engine or something. Gosh, that is so annoying. He did it 3 times in a row. This is the equivalent of like Tekken 2 Devil just throwing you the whole match. I like how his sprite just like fell straight down. But if it was made by Sachin, who is Sachin? Oh, unless you mean Satan, yeah. Sometimes that attack doesn't even work for Fujin. It just pulls you across for no reason. Like, yeah, if they just gave the bosses moves like some punishment frames, this would be a fun fight, but it just feels so haphazard. And he's immune to your projectile while he spins. Oh, did I just unlock Ice Shower? I wish I knew the commands. Ice Blast. I'm assuming this is diagonal Ice Blast. Down, forward, high kick. Okay, we'll try it. Yeah, there we go. Okay, that might be the ticket here. Yeah, see, like, I don't agree with that. Acclaim, yeah. But it definitely was done during the MK Gold Rush, like you said. The digitized fighter phenomenon. Okay. Oh, great. So when you do that, he just auto spins. Oh, but we can punish that. Oh gosh, no, not this attack. It's very difficult to do because of the turnaround thing. You have to turn around. Way of the Warrior better than The Last of Us. Yeah, I'd agree with that. I've called The Last of Us 1 and 2 the most overrated of us. Like, I played, because everybody told me how good that game is, and I have a buddy who's like a big fan of it. And so I was like, yeah, I'll try it out. I bet it's good. And I expected it to just be like a decent over-the-shoulder shooter or whatever. But it was not. It wasn't good. I was like, Resident Evil 4 did this better years before. Like, who cares? Oh, that move. It's like, oh, here's my get out of jail free card. Like, why? Like, what's the point when he can just summon that wins? Like, oh, I want to hit the player. Okay, here's free wind attack. Unseeable low. Go for it. That attack, I swear. Ah, I got you now, John. Now, if we actually manage to beat him, I have to remember the trick is to run to the end of the platform and grab a hold. Because he's going to try to instant kill me after the fight's over. Okay. Now we need to run to the edge here. Yeah, see, and Sub Zero just grabs on. If you don't do that, he'll suck you into a tornado and instant kill you. But if you do grab on, that happens to him, which is fine by me. Wow, guys, it's an hour and a half into the stream and we finished the second level. I don't know, this almost feels like a game you just kind of trial and error your way through, and then like subsequent playthroughs become much easier. Maybe that's really what they intended this game to be. If you make it really hard, it hides the fact that this game is only like, what, 7 or 8 levels? It's not very long at all. Collect the 3 icons representing the elements of the earth. Again, see them every day on my way to work, so no problem. Don't tell me that. The other level was pretty bad. Don't tell me this one is worse. Oh, look at this guy. Just gung-ho from the beginning. Okay. What is that? Well, I didn't know that was a pit. It could have just been a ground texture for all I knew. Jeez. Oh, I see it. That it opens up. Okay. Like, look at that. There's like no indication that that's a hole. It's just like a texture. It might as well just be a texture on the ground. You don't know what it is. Oh, of course that's an instant kill. Yeah, great. Of course it is. You just kind of memorize the traps and just like, okay, watch for the crevice, jump through the smasher, jump through the one smasher, jump over that one. Restart the game because you hate your life. Wait, no, 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 no. Why do I do this to myself? We don't want to do that level again. It seems like that was the case. I do think I read that. That Miss Montalongo and Brian Glenn dated a while back. That may even have been how he got that role. Maybe they were just looking for two actors with really good chemistry or something. Sub Zero, Mortal Kombat Suckologies. There we go. Like this game, you don't even get to play it because you just die instantly. I don't know what that was. I've never seen that. Stop. Oh my gosh. I bet you the enemies can walk right over the pit too. You're right, this level is bad. Oh, there's another one. Okay, great. And again, you have to go into the options menu to load your save game. They couldn't just make a new game and load game menu like a normal sane game developer. Look at that, just nothing at all. Wait for the slapped on pit. Jump through the crusher. Walk a little bit. Jump through second crusher. Jump through third crusher. Watch for pit that opens up. Jump over it. Swinging axe. Like, I don't know how you're supposed to get through that, because if you run, you're just going to run straight into the second one. Wait on the pit. Jump the pit. Jump through the smasher. Jump through smasher. Watch out for the second slapped on textured pit. Okay, I guess I could I'm turning dash cancel the death traps. The death traps are definitely a low point in this game. Like, I think you could at least be serviceable if it was just like a beat 'em up with some damage traps in it. But the instant death thing and the fact that it has limited lives really drags it down. Like, and believe you me, I enjoy a game with a good challenge, but hey, we made it. Yeah, I never played the remake. I played the original. It's very cramped for a beat 'em up. It's more like you like fighting enemies in like a conga line than it is. Okay, Sub-Zero, grab the ladder. We can't. Okay. Woo, lad. All right. Like, why? Why would you do that? Like, you spend the entire first level climbing up and down ropes, and then so they put a rope in the second one which kills you if you don't have a key that you don't know that you need. So that's good, I guess. As soon as I saw that thing coming down there, I was like, this is going to kill me. That's why I can't climb on the rope, because there's no way out of this pit. That's what it was. Just fan-freaking-tastic game design. Apparently you just run through it, and you've got a better chance of getting through it than you do otherwise. Yeah, I could definitely see that being one of those moments James would put in his video, and just like his reaction to something so utterly absurd in a game. Like, there are games like you can die a lot in because you're bad at, like Dark Souls. And I'm, again, not making up for my lack of practice here, but I think there's games that you can die in because the game developers made bad decisions. Turn around, dingus! It's like when you want him to auto-turn, he doesn't. And when you do want him to turn, he doesn't. Also, obstacles lock up if you stand beside them for some reason. Wait, what's going on? What, I just can't complete the game now? Or do you have to kill this guy? Is that what it is? What is this? Shin Megami Tensei Imagine? Why do I have to... Yeah, you have to kill that guy. Okay. That's what it is. I didn't realize this is Jet Force Gemini with Life Force doors. Yeah, look at that. Yeah. Where's Mr. G-Star when I need him? I finished the first Digital Devil Saga, and it was quite enjoyable. I never finished the second one. I got pretty far, but I never finished it. I could finish it. It was a point where I was going to have to grind and like unlock a lot more mantras, and just I got interested in other games and didn't feel like doing it. I think we should play something that's actually fun to get the taste out of our mouth. Let me just make sure I have working controls here. Oh, I'm loading up something different. This thing is a nightmare. I'm done with this garbage. I'm going to play an actual fun game. If it works correctly. Yeah, one moment. We're going to swap. That's enough. You can see some of the later... This is like towards the very end of the game right here. And even the computer opponent is having trouble getting turned around there. They don't know what they're doing. Oh yeah, it's time for some Duke Nukem, baby. A game that's challenging yet good will be perfect to wash the stench of mythologies out of our mouth. I've been wanting to play this, and now is a good time, I think. I never got into PS1 games. There are only two games I like, Strider 1 and Strider 2. I have never played the PlayStation 1 Strider. I've heard it's good. I played through the arcade one. I really enjoyed it. It's one of those weird kind of clunky games, if that makes sense. Like, not clunky in a bad way, but just kind of... The control is extremely... It has a very bizarre feeling to it. That and Osman, which was, I think, made by the same team for a different company, are very similar. And they have those kind of weird, like, floaty, kind of restrictive jump type motion games. And mankind could be wiped out. This is the one with the Titanic level, Riven Mike. I noticed it got your attention very quickly when we started talking about Titanic. I gotta figure out controls here. Okay, that shoots, this moves. Okay, that's my activate. Alright, perfect. We can deal with that. And that's my jump. Okay, we can do this. We don't need no training. We're just going to go for it.
It ain't no bike, but it sure beats the hell out of walking.
Yeah, you can't control your jump in the air. That's a good way to describe it. It's been so long since I played it, I'd kind of forgotten what the exact deal with it was, but that's it. Which, I mean, you can't really control your jump in real life, but just in a game setting, it just makes more sense to have some control over your jump. Which makes the game a little more enjoyable. Give me that claw shotgun. This is another really difficult N64 game, but a really good one. Unlike Mythologies. It's quite punishing in that it's like GoldenEye rules, like you have to do the whole level in one go. And there are lots of things that can kill you instantly. So you have to be very carefully, you have to play very careful, very smart. Okay, there we go. Here we go. How do I shot crouch? There we go. There's tons of hidden secrets and weapons that you can find. And the claw shotgun in particular is really good. Dang it. Get out of there. I'm going to have to do another fighting game stream soon because I put some new parts in my Hori stick. I play with a Hori Rap 4, and I put a new Sanwa stick in it, and I got a new ball top, and I customized some buttons. So I want to do some more fighters on stream. In fact, I thought about tonight playing like doing an all characters challenge with like Tekken 1 or Tekken 2, except I was going to use the arcade version with the really nasty computer opponents and see how far I could have got. I may do that next week. I haven't decided, but that'd be really fun. I want to play some more Tekken. Haven't been able to go to the local FGC meetups the past few weeks, so getting rusty.
Perfect for home defense.
Oh, they're really bad about spawning enemies behind you in this game. And when enemies are so dangerous, that's not good. Oh, you 1 credit cleared the first Strider? That is impressive. It's a tough game. You should try to do Osman next. I love the cutscenes in Osman. They're so ridiculous. Or Cannon Dancer, I think, in some parts of the world. I call it Osman, but I bet you could beat Arcade Devil faster than Main Man. Maybe, probably. Honestly, I probably could. But I mean, that's just because he didn't really know how to play the AI. You got to play it a certain way. He could beat me in a Tekken match easy, but the computer is like its own kind of beast. Korean backdash is really strong against the computer in Tekken 2. Because basically their whole strategy is just like to duck any high that you throw out and then like run up and throw you. So if you're just like constantly backdashing and you have a character with a good punish like Kazuya, you can just destroy him. It's not hard. The throws are the main thing because throws are very hard to break in the early Tekken series. And the AI will throw like all the time and they'll do it very quickly. Yeah, I think next week we'll play some Tekken 2. We might do like an all characters challenge with the arcade version on like normal difficulty. Some characters are really easy. It's a lot like Mortal Kombat. Like if you pick, for example, Kazuya, he is really, really good. He has extremely good mids. He has good punishers in Tekken 2. He has a hell sweep, not that he needs it. And he can pretty much just wipe the floor with the computer, just like whiff punish all day. But if you're playing as somebody like Kunimitsu 1, may she rest in peace, you don't really have too many options to punish. But maybe we could figure something out. I saw your video about UMK3 and it helped me a lot. Now I can humiliate the CPU. I am subscribed. Thank you very much. Nice direct. You're very welcome. That's why I made it, so that you can amaze all your friends at parties with how good you are at UMK3. Beku Dosan is the best character in Tekken 2. He's alright. He was one of the few hidden characters to get his own stage and music. So Namco obviously really liked him. Alright, notice the animated GIF here for the fans in the back of the Duke Burger. We'll come back to them later.
Who wants some? Well, it looks like the
Crap has hit the fan.
aliens have a base in the Statue of Liberty, but we can't get anywhere near it. Looks like I'm gonna have to show you how it's done. There's a way to the statue from the subway, but you gotta cut the
Power to the gate. Take this code card to the electrical substation. More forces will join you outside the parking lot. So that's another thing. It's kind of like GoldenEye in this game. You pick up this grenade launcher and you're like, oh great, I'm gonna kill some enemies with it. The problem is it can very easily kill you in one hit, in fact.
kids
I'm a professional. Don't try this at home. Yeah, see how it didn't break through the glass, but instead it just bounced back? Like, that could have killed me.
Who wants some? Detachable lid.
I just play Heihachi for that. Yeah, but see, that's the great thing about the old Tekken games is like who is supposed to be the protagonist? Like, they're pretty much just all bad people. It's very morally gray. You could almost make an argument that like Jun Kazama and Lei Wulong were at one point intended to be the protagonists of Tekken 2. They were in the crappy anime. But of course the Tekken 2 anime was still better than the live action Tekken movie they released a couple years back. Which they made a sequel to called Kazuya's Revenge, which has like nothing to do with Tekken. Even though it's a prequel, he's somehow getting revenge, if I remember correctly. It's completely nonsensical. Oh gosh. No, no. The only good thing about those enemies is they're completely powerless if you have the gas mask. Cannot hurt you at all. The protagonist is the credit screen, yeah. And there's a lot of like semi-bad game design in this. Like when you go in there, you're supposed to come back to right here, but it doesn't really tell you that. You just kind of have to figure it out. And if you were just going gung-ho, not watching where you were going, that blast that the tank uses to open a path for you can kill you. So if you're just like, oh, do I need to go back over here? And you walk into that fence, kills you. Have no idea why. You just drop dead or explode. And I think if you walk into that tank, it kills you. Even though it's your ally, it won't stop. It'll just run you over and kill you. And there's so much like annoying stuff like that throughout this game, which keeps it from being like an all-time great. But it's still a pretty darn good Duke Nukem game. Oh, don't get me started about the live-action Mortal Kombat movie. Just call men at work because it's a mistake. Like, I'm pretty sure that helicopter crash can kill you if you manage to get down there. Like, just so much stuff that can kill you, and you're like, oh, what a nice set piece. Oh, no, sorry, it actually kills you.
Come get some.
Where's the last one? There's always another. Who wants some? I forgot there's no like pull-ups in this game, so you just have to make the jumps. You can't like grab onto ledges unless there's a ladder.
Sorry, did I break your concentration?
Haha, he said a Pulp Fiction thing. I mean, you might catch it when it comes out on video or something. It's probably better enjoyed like if you were sitting around with a couple buds and like maybe having a pizza or something, and you're like, oh, the Mortal Kombat movie's on, let's watch it. You know, you might get some enjoyment out of it that way, but it's not going to be something that like, oh, I'm going to go to the theater by myself on my day off and see this, and it's going to be worth it. Nah.
Gonna need to power this bad boy down.
Like, I happened to be taking a day off from work, for example, when Deadpool was released, the first movie. And I said, you know what, I'm going to go see that on my day off by myself. And it was actually worth it. It was pretty funny. Funny movie.
This should allow access to the subway system.
So for some reason, powering down the gate opens it. Okay. Sure, it was some sort of failsafe. It's really hard to get onto those without getting fall damaged like that. Okay, I think there's another tank over here, which is a level set piece, but it will kill you if you get too close. And sometimes it'll even blow you up while you're climbing this ladder. So it's best to just sit up here and wait for it to go by. But again, there's no way to know this is coming because you can't hear it. So if you just climb this and went over that way, you would probably die. So you just kind of have to hide in this corner until it stops shooting and then go about the level. Oh no. Yeah, you see how that rapid fire drains your health?
Much better.
Oh yeah, that tank. You see the tank is back there shooting at the enemy, but unfortunately it can also hurt me. Thanks a lot, guys. The game is so hard when it tries to help you, it kills you. You can't go in these doors yet, but you get to later. If you're not dead. Just gotta instant kill that guy to get rid of the gas. Pretty much anything that's like rapid fire or like damage that you can stand in is a death sentence. Also, you can accidentally kill your allies and it doesn't matter.
Hail to the king, baby.
Epilepsy warning.
Mess with the best, die like the rest.
Golden guy. Goddamn auto loader. It's actually a lot of neat weapon mods you can get, which kind of just same weapon just makes it stronger kind of thing. It's a neat touch. Gives you a reason to explore.
Going down. Nice piece. Hail to the king, baby. Down, boy.
Like, see how my ammo turned red? That means I've got the auto loader mod active.
Remember
So it just like gives you less cooldown between shots. Which is useful when you've got a instant death enemy sitting there spamming shots at you. Yeah, it is. This one is not bad. You want to get all the time machine parts because it opens up a secret stage later on. I think there's 2 secret stages. You have to get like all the time machine parts before it to unlock it. And Mike, if you're still here, that is how you get to the Titanic level.
In your service, lady.
This level kind of sucks because, as you can see, we have no weapons for whatever reason, but our health is still low. Oh, we just had to get them. Okay, great. Okay, I don't know why I unselected my weapon, but we'll need the grenade launcher to take that one out. That's all it is. So if I remember correctly, the best way to do this was to get the grenade launcher, just come up here, kind of run like mad. Strafe that crap. The machine gun shots are dangerous, but not as much as those flashing missiles there. Okay, we got him. Any kind of enemy that's like a turret like that is extraordinarily dangerous in this.
I ain't got time to bleed.
Nice lens flare effect. They use the strategy of give you health so that you can survive a longer fall than you're supposed to. Never been a fan of that. Just design some way to get down there. Wasn't cool when Castlevania The Adventure did it. It's not cool when this game does it. Oh no, that's fine. I completely understand. It's been getting stormy here too. Well, we're probably going to get whatever storm you guys are getting. It's probably going to come to us probably about midnight or so.
Sorry, did I break your concentration?
I love shotguns in video games. They're so fun. That's gonna hurt come winter.
Let's rock. Bacon.
What a hero!
Oh yeah, it must be the 90s if we're shooting guns and picking up card keys. I think this game may have come out in the 2000s actually, early 2000s. Gosh, what a good time for gaming the 90s and the 2000s were. I just hate sections with like forced fall damage in it. I wish they wouldn't do that. I mean, I understand if you're going to force it, you got to give the health back because it's fair, but it just seems like a lazy way of designing it.
Ooh, how can I ever repay you?
This elevator, it can kill you. If you're standing too close and you call it, it will smash you and kill you instantly. Not just like, oh, I'll take some damage and get popped out the other side. Nope, it kills you instantly. Body armor. Thought that was a machine gun, which is more blaster ammo. Yeah, so you want to get away from that? It's one of those games where jumps have startup too, so you kind of have to figure out how to jump over little pits like that.
Come on, bleed for me. Much better.
I mean, to swap to the pistol here because we're going to get these little spidery things. Enemies in this game are kind of generic, honestly. It's just like lizard people, spider thing, pig cop from the other Duke Nukem games, just all the same. If I remember correctly, there is a turret in this room. I did remember correctly. We're going to have so many grenade rounds. Okay, I think that is locked. So what we got to do is go down here. Yeah, there it is. Okay. No, 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 no. Go away, go away. Alright, now turn around. There we go. That will kill you instantly if you don't blow it up in time. This is like a third-person boomer shooter. There's almost more focus on just restoring your health rather than it is avoiding taking damage. With the exception of specific circumstances.
Want some?
How can I ever repay you?
Hey Andrew, this is Duke Nukem 0 Hour on the N64. It's a Terensu childhood classic. Probably a game I shouldn't have been playing at that age, but I guess it turned out alright. Now I gotta remember where that is. That basically put out a fire that allows you to get to an area to basically end the level. There we go. Yeah, I call those walkie-talkie sections, or some people call them walk and talks. I don't like them. Like, I never finished Final Fantasy VII Remake. I think it's a bad game, and that's part of the reason. Like, I don't need to spend time walking around holding Eris's hand while she gives me exposition. No, that's not... It was supposed to be a remake of Final Fantasy VII. Final Fantasy VII didn't have walk and talk sections. It was an RPG with RPG combat. Like, don't get me wrong, those games have their place. I mean, I think there's a market for it. People buy it, they should sell it. You know, if you want to make a walk and talk game, by all means, but we still need some good action games. Like, it's okay for your game not to have a lot of story exposition in it. I feel like there's this push to like make all games the same these days. Maybe not an intentional push, but just because the industry has kind of figured out what sells, right? So like, oh, we need this, we need that, we need this in the game, we need that in the game. We want to show off graphics, we want to show off voice actors and those things. So we need these walk and talk, you know, story driven rather than gameplay focused type games. I was reading the Vigilante 8 Discord the other day, and they were talking about how that game probably wouldn't be able to get made these days. Because back in the day, games were just like, the developers would be like, this sounds cool, let's make it and see if it catches on. But now it's like, oh, we got to do this, we got to use these assets. The game's got to have so many live service, you know, model things in it. It's almost like game design by committee, rather than just like, hey, this sounds like a cool idea, put this in the game. So I feel like games now are a lot more stable, like you can always count on it to work, at least after the day one patch. But there's not as much like goofy exploratory stuff either. But I guess the counter argument to that would be because of the fact that A, we're not kids anymore, and B, they already did all that experimental stuff. It's like the old verse, there's nothing new under the sun. Kind of rings true in game development too, I guess. Ooh. Have any of you guys ever ate at the Duke Burger in the top of the Statue of Liberty? There's got to be some health around here somewhere before I go traipsing up there. Yeah, there we go.
Save me! Save me!
Avert thine eyes if you don't like drinking toilet water. Yeah, the early game Resident Evil 8 is a lot of that. Like, it really slows down the first part of the game, which is fine the first time you play it because it's like building atmosphere. But by the time you play through it the second time, you just want to get to the fun part of the game because you got all your upgraded weapons and you just want to go blow stuff up, but you can't because you got to sit there and like crawl through the woods for half an hour. Yeah, Riven Mike, if anybody condemns you for hating on The Last of Us in here, I'll ban them myself. If you enjoy The Last of Us, that's great for you, but I just did not enjoy it. I thought Resident Evil 4 did everything it did better. I suppose you could make the argument that it was trying to tell like a serious, heartfelt story as opposed to like a goofy story like Resident Evil 4, but I don't know. There are some people that legitimately found Resident Evil 4 scary. Like, if you're a hardcore gamer, you've probably been around the horror game block a time or two, so you're not scared by campy stuff like that. But I have some coworkers that have that played the game and legit thought it was scary. The problem with Resident Evil 4 was that they made like the trailers and the previews and everything made it sound like the whole game was going to be like at the village, like this constant fight for survival where you'd be barring windows and like trying to outwit pursuers, and the first part of the game is like that, but it kind of turns just into straight action towards the end, which is okay, I guess. Well, that's where we came in at. Okay, there's nothing up here but Duke Burger. Yep, see, I just took like 15 points of damage from an exploding elevator. Was given no indication that that would explode. It just happened. Because, you know. Or maybe we do need to go here. Yeah. I don't know what blew him up, but something did. Oh yeah, we got to go up here and activate this lockdown. That's what it was. It's really bad about just like showing you stuff and like you're just kind of expected to go figure out what it is that changed. But it doesn't specify. Yeah, I think this is where we were earlier. All right. I condemn he who condemns and mocks games like RE1 and the House of the Dead without paying some respect. Hey, the original House of the Dead was great. Yeah, like Verdugo and that kind of thing was a whole different kind of fear, and it was effective because like you've got all these weapons, and then all of a sudden it's an enemy that they're useless against, so that really shifts the paradigm. So I think that was probably the most effective RE gets at inducing fear. Have we found the time machine part yet? We really need to find that. Ah, Carnival and Token Talker. Oh yeah, that's the top tier strat, right? Just don't shoot their heads off and you don't have to deal with the Plaga's enemies. The ones with the razor blades were the most annoying on professional because they'll just like cut your head off instantly and you lose.
Hail to the king, baby.
See, like, what about that makes you think it's a time machine part? But it is.
Should have brought a
I'll
wrench.
thank you later, big guy.
You get a med kit for your trouble, which is nice. It's actually possible to miss that atomic health there and accidentally kill yourself. Which again, you wouldn't know to get if it was your first time playing, but you know. Or you could be clumsy like me and know it's there and try to make sure, like, okay, I got to make sure I fall onto the atomic health, and then you end up missing it. Now this part will kill a lot of people. You find that secret and you get put back here, but you got to make sure you get the elevator to not come down and smash you. See, like the elevator is actually up there if I remember correctly, but you wouldn't know that. So you had to activate it and then quickly run out and then come get on it. But see, your first playthrough, you wouldn't know that. So you just be like, oh, I just need to call the elevator, and it's going to land on top of you and smash you. Felipe is correct. This is indeed Duke Nukem 0 Hour. This is kind of just like a fort defense section. You should kill all these enemies.
I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration? Ooh, what a temporal mess.
What a temporal mess. Yeah, there's a lot of like just like screw you type game design in this. The save menu is kind of weird too because your choices are like make a new save or overwrite and then like continue without saving. But even if you save, it still says continue without saving. So you're like, oh, did I not save? Do I need to save again?
Damn you all.
Alright, this is where the game starts getting kind of tough. There's a lot of stuff that can kill you very quickly in this level. And you have a lot of ground to cover.
And power it up so our copter can find you.
So you can basically start the level by jumping through that mess, or you can go through the this area here. I think we're going to do the mess route just because there's some zombie enemies in there.
Garbage strike.
Oh, here's a shotgun. Okay. Maybe we will do the hotel first because we got the shotgun.
And I thought Brooklyn was bad.
So those doors are actually scripted to open regardless. Even if you kill the zombie before the door finishes breaking, it just breaks on its own. I think the devs were cheap by making a bad game. It was more so that. I don't know why that well, I mean, maybe it's just Naughty Dog's thing, but like for the longest time, games have had this obsession with trying to be movies rather than just being games first. And again, I'm not saying there's no place for the cinematic game. Of course not. But a lot of games try to be both, and they end up being neither one. So that's not as good as it could be. And that's a very hard balance to strike in a game like The Last of Us or something like that. So I don't envy their position as developers trying to balance that. But Naughty Dog seems to be very cinematic focused as opposed to their older days with stuff like Crash Bandicoot, which was obviously supposed to be like gameplay first. Where is that ladder? Got it. That's a very difficult jump to make just because the way the jumping works. Alright, remember those fans I told you about at the Duke Burger? They're still spinning, baby. Whole city's lost power under a sheet of ice, but they're still spinning. Still going. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, you know, it's okay for your game not to be art. I mean, and in some ways it is no matter what. Like, I don't think anybody would argue that a game like Duke Nukem here is like high society, highbrow entertainment, but that doesn't mean it's a bad thing. I mean, it's a fun game. Just make something that's fun. And then, you know, that kind of makes it art, honestly. There we go. Basically, between time periods, you lose all your weapons. That's why we're having to recollect stuff like the sniper rifle that we had previously.
Come get some. Groovy.
The Claw 12 shotgun is probably still the best one in the game, but the sawed-off does pretty much just as good. It's a little bit slower rate of fire. Oh yeah, absolutely. I just worry that too many developers are trying to make 1 foot in one area and 1 foot in the other. It's like you should just do wholeheartedly one thing. And that's not to say you can't have a gameplay focused game with a story, of course not, but pick one and do it well.
What a hero!
I guess I should just shut up and start making some games then, right? Everybody's a critic. Cool. I need to get on top of that subway car. Oh, those are just pipe bombs. That's not... Thought it was the time machine part, which is around here somewhere, but... I think I heard an enemy. Boom. That's like the scariest sound in the world in this game, where you hear the enemy teleport in, but you don't know where they are. Oh gosh. That was just disorient you for a second if you get hit. Yeah, Metal Gear Solid was a strange beast, especially 2 and 3. And I ironically think that that was one of the better instances of blending. Like, Hideo Kojima obviously wanted to make story a major focus, but he always wanted very solid gameplay as well. And so he just didn't sacrifice, right? He's like, we'll put an hour-long cutscene in the game. We'll just make it skippable. So if you care about that, you can watch it. You're not going to be forced to sit there and hold hands while you walk and talk, except for the whole helping Emma section, but that's a whole nother thing. It's like, we're going to have some great stealth gameplay, and we're going to have some hour-long codec conversations to move the story along between it. It's all going to be good. Oh gosh, I forgot about this part. And see, you're supposed to have like a mini rocket launcher, but because we took the back way, we don't have it.
Perfect for home defense.
There we go. Normally you could just one-shot that thing with some tri-rockets, but we don't have any, so shoot it out of the sky.
Save me! Save me!
I actually have played Hybrid Heaven, Atlas. Also, how you doing, man? It's good to see you. A buddy of mine owned that game randomly. Do you ever have that game that like you own that none of your friends own? And it's just like this weird coincidence that you happen to own a copy of it? Like, I had a buddy that owned Pocky and Rocky on Super Nintendo. And, like, I can guarantee you if you took... I'd be confident saying 20 people from my high school and asking them, hey, what is Pocky and Rocky? That none of them would be able to tell you what it was. But he had it, man. And then I owned Goemon's Great Adventure, and nobody to this day in my high school knew about Goemon. Goemon, whatever. But yeah, Hybrid Heaven was a strange cat. I mean, that was a weird game. If I remember, it has like RPG style, like turn-based beat 'em up combat or something like that. But yeah, I had a friend who owned that game, and it was not really the type of game he would usually be interested in, but for some reason he had Hybrid Heaven, and I remember he brought it out one time in grad school, and we played it for a little bit, because I'd never even heard of it. Or if I did, I didn't know anything about it. I just knew it was pretty rare, so we played it and tried it out. Didn't get very far. Oof. I just need to get the sniper rifle for this guy.
Fresh hardware.
Look, there's a fire hydrant here. Well, I believe they were both made by Konami Computer Entertainment Kobe, were they not? So that's probably why it feels similar. Probably use some of the same development team and libraries and assets and that type of thing. A lot of the Computer Entertainment Kobe games have a very specific feel to them. Both N64 Goemon games were made by that team, so despite one of them being a 2D platformer and the other one is a 3D action adventure, kind of like Zelda.
My place at 8? My place at 8?
I don't know if there's any way to get into the rest of the rooms here. It might be the case that you had to come back later in the level to get it to open up, but I usually never bother with it. Alright, now we get to do the garbage dump section. Yeah, you have to rescue the women that are trapped by the aliens, and you get that little message. It restores your health, so it's always good to do so. At least these guys will drop some shotgun ammo. In these early levels, you have to use like fire hydrants as your like healing stations or whatever. But later on, you'll get to where they just straight up put like healing pads on the levels. Oh, I forgot about this ambush here. Okay, we need to go. We need to go.
That's better.
Get me out of here. This game has a weird mix of auto aim and manual aim. Like sometimes he'll lock onto enemies, but if you stay too long or they move too much, he'll unlock from them. The controls do take some getting used to, but it's a decent attempt at early third-person shooter controls. It's much better than what they did with the time to kill on the PlayStation. It's one of those games where your C buttons are like your movement, and then oh gosh, this one's even more dangerous than the other. Be still. Got him. Should be the last one of those for now. Give me that health. Okay. The zombies take extra damage versus the shotgun. So you always want to try to use that on them. Oh, I remember this part, the snipers.
Damn, I'm good.
Snipers are another sometimes can kill you instantly enemy. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. You know, it just depends. Depends on how the game's feeling that day. Go. Gotta remember where the time machine part is because we're coming towards the end of this level. Oh no, oh no. Those guys are super dangerous. Ooh, that was close. That might have been very bad. Explosions are like almost GoldenEye 64 level dangerous in this. Super dangerous.
die like the rest.
There are some cracked walls in this game that will blow up, but not all of them. Look at this, we'll get this guy in the arm. Shoot his arm off, he just falls over dead. I don't see they spawn in more.
Oh boy, it's clobbering time.
There's always another spawn in. Oh, that was close. Don't want to get hit by those guys and screw your in-game vision up. Got one of them. Okay, that's the level exit. So we got to go back, but at least we cleared the way to the exit. So when we get the last pieces, we'll be good. It was very risky taking that jump. Ow. Alright, let's go get the other piece. I believe we got to go to that parking garage, which there's some nasty enemies in there, so we got to be careful. This game is also very quiet. Some levels they just decided, we'll let it be ambient noise. No music needed. And then some levels have a tune playing in the background. This one just uses kind of the ambient nuclear winter sound effects. Oh, there's a lady that needs help.
Save me, please.
Who is shooting? Oh.
Gotta do better than that.
Yeah, I'm not going back all the way over there for 12 health. Give me that bandolier. Give me them rockets. Give me them 30 health. Whoops. I don't think I can climb that from here, but... yeah. Have to find another way in. There we go. Yep, I knew it. We're going to go through the Le Service access. Oh, that's dangerous. See, that's what I hate about this game. Like, we got to jump onto that tiny ledge there. I think the safer option would be to come onto this one. And then just kind of waltz onto it. There we go. Locate power cell delta, and it's going to be in that parking garage. Up we go. See, this is a long level, and remember, if we die at any point during this, we have to start the whole thing over from the beginning. It's very tricky. Is that a crack in that wall? Oh no. I knew it. Shotgun shells, night vision, lady to save, snowman to blow up. I've never seen this secret area before. Yeah, back this way. Nope. Some of the store names in the city level are somewhat cute, I guess, if not a bit vulgar. Yeah, sucker punches with explosions are kind of a thing in this. I don't know why they thought it was a good idea, but there's so much stuff where it's just like, oh, explosion, sorry, you were too close to it. Instantly dead. It's good at that. Where is it? Yeah, see, like, there's an enemy that just kind of sneaks up on you and shoots explosives. And if you didn't know it, it would just come up and one-shot you, and that would be that. Now you get this little cutscene showing you where to go, but we've already been there. And cleared out the enemies. That's a healing pad. You start seeing those as you get later into the game. Which is good for when you shoot a rocket point blank at yourself like me. Yeah, that's super handy to know where those are. Slip and slide. This game is like that too. It actually tells you how many of the enemies you killed at the end of the stage. But you have to hunt for all of them. Like, you're not going to find them all unless you like really look. Some of them are very well hidden. I liked how GoldenEye had some levels with infinite enemies, and then there were some levels with like not infinite enemies. So you could like clear out the level and just kind of go explore the level at your own pace. That was a neat little feature. I want to say Mission Impossible 64 had a few levels like that too.
Let's see if I can light this thing up.
Duke, are we glad to hear from you? Somehow the aliens have altered history and triggered Armageddon. Our time displacement shields have kept us safe for now, but the aliens are everywhere. Hang on, we'll pick you up in just a minute.
Spoiler, they don't.
Coming, Duke.
So his ride just gets blown out of the sky.
Damn it, what have these guys got against my rides? Looks like I'm walking.
But anyway, we're right here, and I missed the time machine part. I've gotten it on that level before, but I don't remember where it was. Anyway, guys, it's about that time. You know, we usually go from 9 to 12. We're about 5 minutes over. That's fine. Who knows what? I think we're going to do the Tekken thing next week. I think we'll try to beat Tekken 2 with all the characters. I think I'm just masochist enough that I will play the arcade version too, and we'll just we'll try to see what we can figure out. Maybe we'll Korean backdash our way to victory. If you're not in the official Torensu Discord, there's a link. Drop in, say hello, tell me what games you'd like to see, and I'll see what I can do. If you need help with cheap AI in an old fighting game, let me know, and I'll take a look at it and see what I can figure out. Or if you got questions about the classics like Mortal Kombat, let me know, and I'll answer those. Anyway, guys, as always, thanks for stopping by. It's night time. Daddy's got to work tomorrow. So you guys take care, stay safe. We'll see you soon.